Okay, hello everyone. Please welcome to the stage here Tina Simmons, Clem, Tony McCarthy and Brian Wheeler. Oh guys, how are you doing? Are you enjoying the afternoon so far?
Yeah, it's been really good.
The weather's looking good, isn't it? Apparently it's snowing down in Birmingham, so I have no... Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
What a shame.
We haven't seen the weather.
No.
We're stuck inside. Can everybody hear us, by the way? Can you, right at the back? Yeah, good.
Because we can have microphones. Yeah.
If not, move forward.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Someone with some sense.
We're going to get some bottles of water for you as well.
Cool.
Just waiting for you to come on.
No. You've got to get down there.
Tony, you were here last year. We met.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
We had a nice chat outside on the thing, didn't it? So this is your second time at.
It is my second time here. Yeah, and yours as well, isn't it?
Ryan,
Actually, I think it's my third.
Did you come to the first one?
I don't know, but apparently I was told I'd been here 3 times.
Oh, you must have done then.
I couldn't believe it the first time.
Now, this is a massive connection here with Star Wars. Mainly, basically, Return of the Jedi. Clem, you've been in Solo, The Last Jedi, Force
Awakens. Andor season 2.
Andor season 2 as well.
Yeah,
So that's
part
you
of
and
the
Tony.
Gorman scene. I was part of. I worked on that scene.
Yeah. Well, I recognise you a lot from the James Bond films.
Yeah.
You seem to be in every single Daniel Craig James Bond film.
Well, you've got to have somebody on these films. You know, when you watch them, there's faces there or on the screen, so they've got to have somebody. So to make it
Did
interesting.
you in Casino Royale at the?
No, that was my brother Tom. Tommy was on that one.
At the casino table.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was in Mr. Ficucci, they call it. Well,
Was you a bit put out by that?
well, no, because when he was doing that, I wasn't really doing filming, and it was he was the guy that Tom introduced me to film work, and he because we have a very similar look, so that was kind of his. I suppose that was his biggest part, being Mr. Ficucci on Casino Royale, and then now I worked on 3 James Bond movies, so it's something because people used to mistake me for him.
Yeah.
And now people ask him, "Are you that guy in Spectre?" And he says, "No, it's my brother." So he gets really annoyed with me.
And you've just taken his work away. And
Yeah,
that's
no,
what brothers
I
do.
didn't take it. I got him a good job on Being Human, episode 1, season 4. We played 2 vampires in this night shoot scene. It was great, and we got hoisted up, and I got a stake in our heart and stuff.
Oh.
I got him that job because the director was like he had this dream. He had a very specific thing that he wanted. These 2 Japanese were Chinese, but he wanted 2 Japanese vampires, but twins. But it was a tall order to start with. And when they were looking through the casting photos, they picked me out, and he said, "Well, if we can't do that, we'd love to use this guy. He looks great." And then he rung me up and said, you wouldn't happen to have a brother, would you? I said, "Well, not a twin, but I do have one that looks similar." I said, "Oh, good God, if you could get him to do the work." And it was really hard to get Tom to do it because he was like, "Oh, I've been in Casino Royale. Why do I want to do this?" So it was really hard to, but I did get him in the scene, and it was a great scene, you know, and he got a line in that scene, so he was happy.
So, and Tony, you've worked on Andor as well. So did you two work together on that? Or did you not really meet up with each other?
I was in a Gorman scene. You were in what scene?
I was lots of them. I was one of the dockers, so we were in the funeral bit in season 1. We were at the shipyard taking the ships apart. What else did we do? Oh, when the hologram comes up and we're all around, the fight starts, with the stormtrooper starts shooting and everything. That's pretty much where our part ends at that point. But we run the planet, apparently, the dockers.
Right.
In season 2, I just came back for a very small part. That was just, I think it was about 4 days I did, where I let the dogs loose at Diego as he runs into the ship. It was supposed to stop him, but the dogs wouldn't behave. So, which is ironic because they were the 2 dogs out of the 2 Dalmatians out of Cruella, and they were much better behaved in that.
They're the same dogs?
Yes, they were. Yeah.
Cool.
They've probably got a better union.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I did a little bit in season 2, but I was busy doing Rings of Power at the time, so I couldn't really afford the time to do it.
No.
Because once you sign for these things, as you will know, you're tied to it. Same as the Comic-Cons, we can not come, not because we're being difficult or being funny, but filming has to come first. You can't. You go out of that contract or break it. We're out of that.
You're in trouble.
We're not going to work on it ever again.
It's funny because Marina and Paul, who was up here earlier on, both of them said the same thing about showbiz, where it's like, you know, you can get a call. I think, Tina, you mentioned this yesterday, where you can get a call and suddenly it's like, oh yeah, you've got the job, but we want you on the studio tomorrow for a fitting, and then you start filming the very next day. And it
can
must be
sometimes be fit the same day as starting to film as well.
Yeah.
If they're in a hurry and it's last minute, that can also be a thing.
So when last time you were here last year, because we had a nice chat, it's like, so were you just about to do filming around about that time then?
I was filming whilst...
You was filming when you came?
Yeah, I started filming, when did I start? The end of January, I think it was, I started filming.
Yeah.
But much earlier this year. It was May the year before.
Right, okay.
So it's much earlier this year.
Just depends on the production.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I'm very lucky that I've got something that's ongoing for quite a while. So I've got something to do for long term, so I can do that and nothing else right now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is nice.
Tina, your IMDb page states, I think, wherever Peter's gone now, it was hello mate, 299? 299 credits.
More than that, actually.
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't have it on there. But we were just wondering, what would be the mark of the 300 for IMDb? What if you've got anything coming up next that would knock it into 300?
What's coming up? You mean? Well, things are coming up, but you're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed a lot of the things that I've worked on, especially Star Wars. You know,
Yeah.
It's lovely. I was in. Well, actually, Brian and I were in the original Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, and the scene I was in was with all the main actors, actually Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, C-3PO, and actually Anthony Daniels was most uncomfortable in his C-3PO. There he is. He couldn't walk, but R2-D2, he was fine. He used to just jump out of the droid and then go off.
That was Kenny Baker,
That's
wasn't it?
Kenny, the late Kenny
Yeah.
Baker, yes. I did meet him. And Chewbacca, I was with Chewbacca. Actually, the atmosphere was quite subdued, and George Lucas was there overseeing everything. But when Captain Lando came on set, Billy D. Williams, he seemed to liven everything up, and he started telling jokes, and actually, you know, I thought, oh gosh, he was the most interesting person actually on the set.
Was it because he's kind of like all the others had done everything since 1977, and it was a bit
Probably, yes.
running through the mill kind of thing?
Yes, probably. And Carrie Fisher was lovely. She was very sweet. And one day she brought along, actually her fiancé came along, which was Paul Simon from Simon and Garfunkel. And I was in my element because I loved Simon and Garfunkel. I wasn't interested in any of the actors, and she introduced me to him, so that was lovely. So it was most enjoyable, really. The first assistant director was called David Tomlin, and he won a BAFTA for his services to the industry. And I'd worked with him and some of the assistants as well on a film called The Omen some years ago. It was way before your time, but and David Tomlin, he actually wrote The Prisoner. He was
Yes, with
he was
Patrick
a
McGowan.
director, Patrick McGowan. So, but I've got good memories.
And David Tom, wasn't he also involved in a lot of the James Bond films as well?
Not so much,
Yeah.
not so much with the James Bond, but I worked on 5 James Bond films. So,
Can you name them?
A View to a Kill, The Man with the Golden Gun, Octopussy, and also the last one, I did some stills, which I don't think they're in actually, and Die Another Day as well.
Do you like Die Another Day?
Well,
I don't, sorry.
don't.
It's a leading question.
Well, I quite liked it.
Yeah.
But Pierce Brosnan was lovely, and I worked with him before he did the Bond, and I had a picture of him and I taken. And then I saw him a few years ago on another film. We did some night shoots, and he was so lovely to everybody that this is after the Bond, that I bought this picture of him and I from years ago. And he was he was delighted to see it, and he got he got the director and everybody to look at the photograph. Actually, I've got it on my table, the picture of myself with Piers, and I've got one with Roger Moore as well. But he was a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy, Piers. Lovely.
He does come across as nice, and he's touted for a bit now about he would quite happily play the older Bond. Like as if he's out of retirement, which I think would be great because he still looks bloody good.
Well, he has, yes, charismatic, yes.
And Brian, you was in Return of the Jedi.
I was indeed.
You played two characters in that, did you?
I was an Ewok and a Jawa.
Which was your preference?
Jawa.
Because it was not as furry.
It was a lot easier costume, and we had a lot more to do, and there was only 4 of us on set,
Right.
small people, where on Ewoks there was 60, 40, some in America and some in England. So it was just, we were mass. The crowd moved there.
Yeah.
But as Jawa, we had a lot more to do.
And wasn't there like a lot of children as well as Ewoks, as opposed to smaller
No, there
actors?
was no children as Ewoks. There was
No
children as Jawas.
Ah, right, okay.
Peter Diamond's sons, they were Jawas, but no, children depends what age you say, you know. But no, there was no children as Ewoks. The youngest, I think, actually, would have been Warwick Davis.
Yes, yeah, of course. That was his first foray into it, isn't it? Have you worked with him since, Warwick?
Yeah.
Harry Potter and all those?
I've done pantos with him. I did Life's Too Short with him. The funny thing is, I also stood in for him on one of the Harry Potter films, which is quite funny because you have to stand in, and a stand-in generally looks the same as the person that you're standing in for. And for the lighting, Warwick is this height, I'm that height. So to light Warwick, they had to light my stomach, or I had to crouch down to be Warwick's height. And one day Warwick said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm standing in for you doing the lighting, and I'm your height." He said, "But I'm not that short." And I looked him in the face and said, "You are." So yeah, I did that with him. And I say we did Life's Too Short, where I was playing Bernard and Ebony and Ivory, because I can sing so good. And I did panto with him and all his family as well. So yeah, I know. I've worked with Warwick quite a few times.
I've got in my notes. I've got a question mark. Peter actually told me about was Top Gear.
Yeah.
What did you do on Top Gear?
Oh, excuse me, it's still repeating.
I've seen that the other day.
With a little
Yeah.
blue car.
Really?
Don't know if I went, that's brilliant, said the Clem.
Yeah,
The little blue car.
there were 2 of them. I did a Spanish rally with as Richard Hammond's co-driver,
Right.
and I was booked because I was shorter than him, and I pretended to be a mechanic. The trouble is, being shorter than him, being the way my proportion, standing up, as you all see, I'm a lot shorter. For you, example, I'm down to about there. Sitting next to somebody
The tallest.
and sitting in the car, I was taller than Richard Hammond.
But he's a short.
So they took my seat out. So generally I was sitting on the floor while we were driving around in a rally course. And also on this one, a lot of actors, because I am an actor, just about, a lot of actors lie. Right, you go to an audition, you lie. Can you do this? Yes, of course I can do it. I went to the audition, they said, "Can you be a mechanic?" I went, "Yeah, of course I can. I've stripped engines before, I've changed tyres, I can do all that." Lie. "Can you map read?" "Oh, of course I can map read. I was in the Scouts, we went orienteering, we went up mountains, I can map, I know north, south, east, west." Lie. can you drive a vintage car? Yes, of course I can. I can reach the pedals. Lie. I got the job. I got there, and they had to do some alterations, because on the Spanish rally, if you're the second driver, you have to be able to take over the car if anything happens to the first driver. And Richard did convince me that it would never ever happen, that I would have to drive. He forgot the day that he got drunk. But that was okay, he got away with that. But we got into the car, I've lost my train there, and we were driving along, and we got to the rally, and you had to orienteer around the race circuit, or country roads. And Richard looked at me and he said, right, you've got the maps? Yes, I've got the maps. You've got the compass? Yes, I've got the compass. Where do we go? I don't know. What do you mean, I don't know? I've not got a clue. I can see the map, I don't know where we're going. He said, what are we going to do? I said, it's easy. Follow that car in front of us. He's the cameraman, he was filming us, so he knew where to go. So we just followed him. We lost. We came out of 36. So yeah, I did work with Richard Hammond.
So I'm going to have to look that long now on Top Gear, and you saw it the other day.
It's on constant. Well, it used to be on constantly, but
yeah.
And also Jeremy drove round BBC Centre in a little blue car, and he drove into a meeting that I was in. I said, hello, Jeremy. Oh.
Did he sit in the car?
He was in
the car.
He was in, and it's a tiny car.
We used to get repeats from BBC, but we don't anymore. I mean, sometimes we get hardly anything nowadays.
That's right, that's why we have to sell pictures.
That's why we're here.
Do we have any questions for the lovely guests on stage today? That's good.
It would be great to hear from all four of you. Clearly you've worked in so many different productions. I'd be really happy to hear from each of you as to who's left you the most starstruck in terms of people that you've worked with or you've come across in your time.
Clem?
Should I go first? Yeah. Actually, funny, I was just saying that to somebody in, I don't know if they're here, there were some Marvel fans. And I was saying, because when I worked on Deadpool and Wolverine, meeting Hugh Jackman, and he had his Wolverine hairstyle and stuff. And just because the amount of films he's been in playing that character, spanning over 20 years, and then to see him in the flesh, and he is a good-looking chap, and he's very tall, and he's very charismatic, and he just, I was starstruck because I just thought, oh my God, it's Wolverine. I'm just standing for a Wolverine. Not really Deadpool, but I mean, because I say, you've done
Ryan
these.
Reynolds.
Huh? I know, but
Maybe hurt by that, have you heard that?
No, I didn't compete with, this is Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. More the fact it's Wolverine. It's that kind of a thing when you see a character. And then when on The Force Awakens, we're doing an internal scene with with the Resistance, the underground scene, and and it was in the meeting everybody was there except for Mark Hamill, because basically he wasn't in that film, he was just at the end. But just to be around these guys, Harrison Ford in his full Han Solo gear with pistol, and you're thinking, my God, it's hard not to geek and remember that you're actually working there. And but yeah, just kind of little moments like that. I mean, I'm not talking like it's just like in your head. It's like a very short moment, but because obviously you're there to work, and you all want to do the best job you can and make it the best product you can. And they're like that's the mantra in my head anyway. That's why I'm there.
That's true.
But tiny little bit geeking out. But yeah, those definitely those two guys.
I think it's quite hard to do that, because it's like I've had the privilege now. This is my second year of being on stage and interviewing yourselves, and and other people, and there's part of you where you go, I'm sitting next to Clem. I'm sitting next to Clem here, you know, and I've done it at times, but you kind of go, I've got to be professional. I've got to not start going, oh, I really liked you in the market. Oh, you fancy buying medals, don't you? It's that kind of thing, you know. So you do have to kind of slightly be a bit professional.
Yeah, people do that though.
Yeah. Tony, so what about you? And clearly you seem to like Ryan Reynolds.
Well,
Well, you worked on
Deadpool. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw. I didn't see what's his name. His double was in that day. I never saw.
Oh,
it.
that's why you're saying that.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds it is.
But then I also have to say Michael Douglas in Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay.
What a lovely guy.
Really?
Truly lovely guy, I was a bit starstruck there because I grew up with some of the films he did way back.
Yeah. Romance in the Stone, Wall Street,
and it was just sitting there talking to him thinking, wow, you've been like in all these films. That for me was a wow moment. And he actually took the time to speak to us, which was really nice because some of the other cast didn't.
Yeah.
I'm not saying who, but they just ignored us. They weren't interested. But that's the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say him as well, really, to be fair, yeah.
Brian?
But again, we meet so many actors, and you know, we've seen them as we've been growing up, and you know, to actually be sitting talking to them and talking regular things. The one that really still gets me, and he's one of my favourite actors because he plays so many different parts as totally different act, you know, a person, other than Hugh Jackman, because I think Hugh Jackman's excellent. But I was on the film called The Libertine, and it was a scene where we were out in the market, and it was chucking it down with rain all of a sudden. So we all had to go and get sheltered. So I just sheltered under this bus stop, and this bloke was stood there, and we started talking about the rain, saying, oh, it's chucking it down, wonder when we're going to get back to work and filming and whatever. And thought nothing more of it, just chatted about that. Walked away back to where I was supposed to be, and the bloke came up to me and said, how come he's talking to you? I said, sorry? How come that man was talking to you? What were you talking about? I went, we're talking about the weather. Just like, what do you talk about? What did British people talk about? The weather. I said, that's Johnny Depp. He talks to nobody. He doesn't even talk to a director. He does it via his PA. Why was he talking to you? I went, we're just talking about the weather. I didn't ask him for his order. I didn't even actually know who he was. And he went, you didn't know who Johnny Depp was? I went, no. So I said, next time, let me know. So I actually did chat to him again about the weather, I suppose. And I standing behind him, two crewmen going, oh, fair enough, yeah. So that's quite, because I find if you look at Johnny Depp film, his range is amazing of how he's played so many different people, so many different characters. And you see somewhere and you go, is that really Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
And then you think some films, yeah, that's Johnny Depp. So yeah, for me, that one.
Brilliant. And Tina?
Actually, I worked with Johnny Depp, but it was a film they had to come in, just do some more scenes.
Wasn't raining, was it?
No. I actually can't think of the name of it. It was set in Hong Kong. I don't know if Clem might know it. And he put on a lot of weight then, actually, and he couldn't fit into his original clothes.
Oh, no.
So, but I had a quick chat with him, just a quick chat. We were there for 5 days with Pinewood Studios, and first 2 days he was actually producing the film, but he never showed up. So we were just hanging about, and then he came on set. But you know, he said hello, and he was extremely nice.
Yeah.
But I did work with the original Superman with Christopher Reeve, and he was absolutely lovely. And he lived quite near me when he was filming in London, and I used to see him. He just nodded to say hello. But he was such a charming man. That was the Superman that I think is the best Superman anyway. But he was lovely. He used to go into the local newspaper shop, but he couldn't get the Daily Planet, unfortunately. But he was a lovely guy. And not long ago, it was a year ago, I think, I was invited to the documentary about him. Yeah. I would have loved to have gone because I knew one of the directors, and also his children were there. But unfortunately, I was working. I couldn't get there.
Oh, that's a shame. It's a great documentary as well.
I was invited to the screening where one of the directors who I knew was there. So it was co-directed, but he's a lovely man. I did work with Sean Connery as well, and I mentioned he did ask me out, and then I was too shy to go, which was my fault really. It was my loss, unfortunately. I heard he liked blondes, but his wife was dark-haired.
Oh yeah, the wife at the time.
Any more questions before we wrap up? Oh yeah, please do.
Hiya. I know you mentioned about the type of people you work with and how starstruck you were, but what was your favourite film? That applies to everyone. Your favourite film to actually be a part of, the most enjoyable, and why? For everyone.
I don't.
Brian, do you want to go first on that one?
Yeah, Brian, go on.
Me?
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera. I did a film with Gerard Butler. It didn't actually really make it, but a lot of people, it's a cult thing. A lot of people like it, and a lot of people haven't seen it or don't like it. But I was on it for 6 months, and they looked after me very well. Cast and crew were excellent. I had 4 different costume changes, and it was great. As I say, Gerard Butler, on some film sets you have levels of hierarchy. You have the actual stars, you have the semi-stars, and you have, and
The ones at the back of the lunch queue.
and you have three different areas where to eat. And I was sitting in the middle area at one point, and Gerard Butler walked past and grabbed a sandwich and carried on walking. And somebody shouted after him, "Oi, that's our food." And then Gerard just looked around, "Sorry." But he was lovely. He was really good.
Good memory. Tina?
There's quite a few actually. Little Shop of Horrors I liked, and with Rick Moranis, and I worked on it over a period of 6 months. I was the lead actress. I was her stand-in and double, and I did a bit of dancing in it, and that was popular. I loved doing that, and in fact they've got the original ending, which is much better than we had to go and reshoot it, because in the film, the original film, the plant eats all the actors, but then when the audience saw it before it came out, they didn't like that all the actors were killed, so we had to go and they shot it again with a happy ending. And I worked on a film, it's way before your time, called The Omen, which was a horror film, which I loved doing as well, with the actor Gregory Peck, who I got to know quite well. So.
Absolutely. Clem?
So many. Definitely the 2 creatures that I played in Doctor Who, the Clockwork Droid and the Space Zombie, come to mind because you were so involved in the story, and I literally like the hero. Doctor Who has to pretend to be scared of you, so you chase him around. I mean, that's like kind of pinch you sort of moments, isn't it? It's like being in the playground. And
which Doctor was it?
That's Peter Capaldi. And we did a lot of choreography with that as well, movement for creature movement and stuff. That was really fun, and costumes are great. And obviously honorary mentions to the Multiverse Madness, being one of the Camouflage shield bearers and fighting the Scarlet Witch, and just like out there somewhere in the green screen, and just being part of that action scene. And No Time to Die also, where there was a lot of action scenes where there was a lot of because the Spectre agents basically get killed in that, so we had to practice a lot of different stunt falls to fall safely, while other people were like running around your head and hands, and quite dangerous but exciting. Yeah, those kind of things.
Good day at the office.
Yeah.
Also, Only Fools and Horses was fun to work on. Only Fools and Horses, I worked on 4 episodes, so that was lovely. I know you like that. It was a lot of fun. David Jason and the whole lot of them. We went down to Margate, the Jolly Boys outing, so that was a lot of fun too.
And Tony, you're
To be fair, it's probably a lot of the creature ones, really. Rings of Power, definitely. I enjoy doing that because that's, like you said, a lot of movement, a lot of stunt stuff going on, a lot of, and it's very hard to move in that costume and do what we have to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't look a lot when you look at us, but it's 25, 26 kilos. So if you end up on the floor, you ain't getting up easily.
No, no.
And then you've got to let off the fact that we've got lenses that go around the whole of your eyes, teeth in that are actually fixed to our teeth. So you've got all that going, and the prosthetics. But yeah, I think for me that's my favourite. I also enjoyed doing Men in Black International because I got to be around a lot of the main cast.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people in. I don't think I've been in something that's got that amount of creatures, different creatures. There must have been 130 different people there in full prosthetics. It's a lot of people. I mean, I've never seen so many makeup artists.
And Peter Jackson and Stephen Colbert are now working on a new Lord of the Rings film. As announced the other day.
Forgotten, something like that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So sit by your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a great round of applause for our guests on stage, please. Tina, Clem, Brian, and Tony. Thank you, everybody.
If it wasn't for you, we would be here.
Yeah, that is true.